there everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all back at Learning Advanced English Vocabulary Classes and powered by DigSat. So today, let's know what is that one advanced vocabulary word that we can take today. Okay, so let's begin. So this is, let me just pronounce the word that is erratic. So how do you spell it as? That is erratic. And how do you write it as? That is erratic. Okay? Erratic. E-R-R-A-T-I-C. Erratic. So now what does erratic mean? So we would be opting our traditional path. That is starting with framing our one of the examples, best suitable examples, so that we can get a better clarity and so that we can dive in more deeper and get better understanding so that we can eventually, frame our sentences more particularly when we are more suitable in such an environment or in the midst of certain interaction or conversation with anybody out there. So let's just frame a simple example saying that the weather here is erratic. Okay, so now let's know what's the meaning. Now weather is erratic. Now from the example, you must have guessed it out. That is very much obvious. The weather is erratic, which means the weather over here is unpredictable. So anything, anything. It could be a weather. It could be you are describing a person. It could be a change or shift in the moment or an environment or in-person behavior. So you can call it or you can term that behavior or that change or that shift in particular environment is called erratic. Something that is unpredictable. You cannot predict. Okay, so let me just get in, just summarize the meaning of what is predictable for someone for whom this is something new. So let me just tell you out there. Unpredictable is the opposite of predictable. Okay, predictable, unpredictable. Predictable is something that you can already guess it out. Okay, so something that you're already familiar with, something that you already know, and you expect a similar kind of behavior or situation or such an environment, that is called predictable, that you can already guess, or something that you're very much familiar with. Okay, and same goes for that is the opposite of predictable, so that is unpredictable. Unpredictable is something that you cannot make out, what's going to happen or what's they're gonna be, what's there in the second step, what's going to be there next. So where you cannot guess the kind of environment, the change of behavior, the change in environment, the shift of emotion. So anything where you do not feel familiar with or something that you are not in knowledge with beforehand, and you cannot think of anything further onto the present or current situation is what you call unpredictable. Okay, so instead of using this vocabulary, this is a used word. So instead of saying unpredictable, try to replace unpredictable word with erratic. I hope you get it right. And if there's anything, do comment down below in the comment section below, or reach on to the DM section, friends and families, and do make use frequently in your further conversation ahead, but whenever applicable. Okay, so meanwhile, I just wish you all keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining. And furthermore, do not forget to hit the follow button, which is English by Tanushri, and we are there available at YouTube as well, which is English by Tanushri. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.